I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Gateway. Stephen Gibson, Kyle Holden on the front row. Richie Joplin and Mark Nelson on the second. Newcomer Gavin Veach and Kane Lee on the third row. Austin Ruskoff and Jock Carter on the fourth row. Mark Dantuma and Gerald Thanos Poole round out the top 10. Michael Carter starting in 11th next to Justin Dews in 12th. Donald Double D Durant starts in 13th. Nicole That's What She Said Creasel in 14th. And Ethan Vietvu supposed to start 15th but has not taken the grid. All the drivers get rolling. Looks like Gavin Veach also did not take the grid, so two drivers will not be racing. And here we go indeed. Stephen Gibson on the inside, former champ Kyle Holden on the outside. Pace car about to make the hard left turn onto pit road. Here they come.
Here we go, green flag, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Down and away, under green. Holden has a big run off into 1 and 2, but we talked about it earlier. This track getting greasy, and these cars were awfully loose. Oh! Already have one snapped loose. Caution is out. I don't know how Gerald Poole managed to avoid that one. One of the rookies, Jacques Carter, having problems on the green. Let's see what happened. Looks like this problem started a little further back. Here they come. Oh, Jacques was looking under Austin. The car snaps loose, snaps right into another one of the rookies. Looking down from the blimp at the 9 car of Gerald Poole. There you see on the left, everything pops off. Gerald managing to get all, wow, a couple of close calls for Thanos. Austin Ruskoff, Kane Lee, Mark Dantuma, and Jacques Carter all coming into pit road. Jacques likely going to be getting repairs here. Did look like he had a little contact with the wall. A rough start for some of these cars. As we mentioned earlier, the admins going into the new season will be using iRacing's new weather system for the races. So we could see a lot of races with dramatic differences between practice, qualifying, and race. However, track temperature's still about the same, about 1 degree hotter, 119 degree track temp, 78 degrees in the air. Lights are out on the pace car, and let's get our fun in early. Just in case we get a long green flag run here, let's get a little bit loud here in the early going. When the green flag drops, I'm going to stop talking and let you guys crank it up. Listen to all that horsepower. Oh, there's a problem under caution. Mark Nelson came down into Gerald Poole. They both recover. Does not look like we will get a delay on the green. We'll have to see if we can get a word with him later. But here we go. Hey, good evening, Pete. Let's crank it up, everybody. Green flag back in the air. Wreck back behind. Caution is back out. See you later, Pudsey. See you later, Pete. Gerald Poole and Double D involved. Nicole Creasel also had an incident a moment ago. Definitely a rough start to this one. Justin Dews also had an incident. He is towed to pit road. See what happened. Nicole was looking low. She got a little bit of the grass and it went around. She did get recovered and moving. There is Gerald Thanos Poole coming out of turn 4, and the 9 car gets loose. Several of the drivers back behind trying to avoid him. Double D checks up and gets whacked in a big way from behind. Pudsey, all the things are definitely happening. I was just saying, have a good night, Pete, and congratulations, buddy. I just briefly forgot how to talk. Definitely been a rough start to this one. Jacques Carter is on pit road again for more repairs. Jacques really having a rough start to his BRR career. Hopefully that'll turn around. And looks like Justin Dews has retired from the race. Lights are out. They stack back up for the restart. Hopefully with a few warm laps on the tires, putting a little bit of heat into them should give them a little bit more grip here on the restart. Hopefully everybody will get going. We'll get our first long green flag run of the night. All right, here we go. Pace car is in. Down the front straightaway. Gibson in control. He fires. Green flag is in the air. Gibson got clear so quickly. Richie Joplin able to get under Holden for second. Mark Nelson lurking right behind Kane Lee, one of the rookies. Right behind him, Michael Carter on the move. Mark D'Antuma back in 7th, Austin in 8th, Double D back in 9th. Oh, Double D gets a little loose out of 4. Thanos slips by to take 9th. Richie Joplin already to the bumper of Stephen Gibson, the leader. Looks like Gibson may have gotten a better run out of 2, and now Holden has caught back up to the top 2. Mark Nelson in 4th. As we got a battle back behind D'Antuma. Underneath Michael Carter looking for 6th. Oh, D'Antuma way deep into 1 and 2. Almost took 5th place from Michael Kane. Had to back out of it not to wreck him. D'Antuma slips back and Ruskoff has a run up top. Last time by, Gerald Poole had set the fastest lap so far. But this time by, Stephen Gibson beats it. 35.29, the fastest lap so far. The leader does have an advantage here. The clean air out front really helps on these flatter tracks. Richie right to his bumper through 3 and 4. Multiple grooves being used. Every driver trying. So Kyle Holden now underneath Richie for second. Holden's got to run. Down into turn 3. Kyle Holden goes to second. Kane Lee, one of the rookies here, currently runs in 5th. Whoa! He gets a little squirrely out of turn 4. Michael Carter got to run to the high side. Mark D'Antuma starting to look to the inside again through 1 and 2, but lost ground coming down the backstretch. Gerald still lurking right behind. Austin back. Whoa! Holden has a big problem out of turn 4. He is going backwards in a big way. There's Kyle sitting in second, coming out of turn 4, starts to peak under Gibson. but gets too low. May have even gotten some of the apron. Gets loose and several cars shoot by. The top three starting to form a bit of a breakaway. Pudsey trying to do the wave. As Richie Joplin looks underneath Gibson for the lead. Michael Carter back there, another one of the rookies, now at 5 spots into 6th. So far, the biggest mover as Richie and Gibson continue to battle it out. Steven on that high line, though, has the advantage out of the turn, gets a run, takes the lead back, and Mark Nelson sees the opening, shoots underneath Richie Joplin. Kyle Holden drifted back to 5th after that incident. Now he's got a lot of them on his bumper and roll. Big wreck in 2nd. Mark takes a hard hit. Caution is back out. Our 3rd caution of the night, one of the wildest starts we have ever seen to a BRR race. There's Richie coming out of turn 2. Oh, he gets loose, smacks the wall, smacks Mark Nelson. Taking a look down from the blimp, look at Kane, who is up into 4th, just barely gets a bumper of Richie, but it sends him down into the infield. Several cars taking some damage on that one. And it looks like most of the field is coming in. Kyle Holden does stay out. Mark Dantuma wins the race off pit road, fuel only for him. Austin Ruskoff also fuel only. The leader, Stephen Gibson, took 4 tires and fuel. Nicole took fuel only and has moved up to 5th. Gerald Poole, Michael Carter, Richie Joplin, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Double D looks like he'll come out in 9th. Kane Lee and Mark Nelson both still on pit road for repairs. Pudsey, I have to agree, that couldn't have felt good. Kane Lee now on his way back out. Mark has to hurry, or he is going to end up losing a lap. Here comes the pace car, and Mark Nelson goes a lap down early in this one. And Dazzler, I hope everything goes okay, buddy. Mark Nelson has not rolled off pit road yet. Good evening, Kevin. Sorry, buddy. All right, here we go. Pace car back in. Kyle Holden in control. He hits the restart zone, fires, green flag is in the air. He is away. Stephen Gibson able to stay right on his bumper to take second. Dan Tuma back in third. And the rest of the field side by side and 3 wide at the back. Wow, that was a risky move by Kane Lee, but picks up 2 spots on the restart. And the beautiful unicorn cheering on the Mark Nelson and Mark Dantuma. Double D has had a problem back behind. No caution yet. Nicole Kriesel has dropped back. See if we can see what happened with Donald. There's Durant. Comes out of 4. Oh! Gets loose. Gets the inside wall. And it looks like it broke something. He has a hard time getting moving again. Kane Lee has had a problem. Looks like it might be the exact same thing we saw with Double D. Yep, coming out of turn 4. Car steps out. Very close call with Austin. And Kane ended up towing it in. Pudsey, you're not wrong. Kyle Holden out front, about a half-second lead over Stephen Gibson. Gerald Poole now up into third. Mark Dantuma, Richie Joplin battle for fourth. Richie comes out with the position. Michael Carter now up into 6th place. Carter restarted tail into the field. But he did take 4 tires on that stop. Looks like that strategy is paying off. As right now, looks like Carter is the fastest car on track and is closing the 2-second. Oh, Gerald Poole has had a problem. Thanos was running in third. Out of turn 4, gets loose. Snaps into that inside wall. Rides it down the front straightaway. He ended up towing to pit road. Rough night for Thanos. Well, we will definitely have some interesting YouTube shorts for you folks this week from this one. Kyle Holden out front, half a second over Gibson and Joplin. Mark Dantuma now up into fourth. Michael Carter has fifth. Ruskoff back in sixth. Nicole holds on to seventh after losing ground on the restart. She has fought her way forward. Gerald Thanos Poole has retired from the race. He did say in pre-race he is not a fan of this track. Donald Durant's had gone back to pit road. He is rolling back out now. And it appears Michael Carter is out of the race. See if we can see what happened to Carter just a moment ago. Remember, Carter was on fresh tires. Looks like he just pulled over and called it a night. That is heartbreaking. Carter was starting to make up a lot of ground due to having fresh tires. After three early cautions, it does look like the drivers are settling in to a long green flag run here at Worldwide Technology Center. Kyle Holden, one of the drivers that has been a dominant force in multiple seasons of BRR competition, including winning a championship. He's taken the most of the last season off, but has not seemed to have lost any speed on track. Holden with the lead. Stephen Gibson in second. Richie Joplin in third. Mark Dantuma in fourth. Austin currently running in fifth. Nicole in sixth. And Double D is officially out of the race. Looks like we've gone from about 14 cars down to 6 already. Definitely a rough start for... And caution is back out. I do not know what the caution came out for this time. However, this will give Mark Nelson an opportunity to get one of his laps back. However, he is quite a few laps down, 12 at the moment. And the entire field is coming in. It looks like they may have called an impromptu competition caution on this one. Everybody hits pit road. It'll be 4 tires and fuel all the way around this time. Holden and Gibson shoot out, but Holden takes it. Very close charge. Stephen Gibson almost getting there. Richie Joplin comes out in 3rd. Dan Tuma in 4th. Austin in 5th. Nicole still sits on pit road getting additional repairs. And let's see if we can talk to Mark Dan Tuma. Hey Mark, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, Doug. What's up?
Hey, so an impromptu comp caution, I take it?
Yes, it was. We figured we'd just try and add a little to the excitement. Unfortunately, we lost a few drivers there with the crashes. So
Lost quite a few drivers, but does look like a few good prospects out there as well.
yes. Both races so far this season have been pretty productive as far as finding some quality drivers. So we're happy about that.
I definitely worry about that 88 of Austin Ruskoff. I've heard he's a little rough.
I'm actually more worried about the 89 because he's like all over the track, just crazy, man. So.
That Richie Joplin guy is known for just not being right in the head.
Well, I think he has too much birthday cake all the time because all the birthdays. So
That is true. That is definitely true. Well, good luck out there. It's definitely going to be an interesting finish to this one.
well, we hope so. Thank you, Doug.
Mark Dan Tuma, the current leader for BRR. And don't forget, folks, later tonight at 9:30 Eastern, we will have SMR Gen 4. That has been quite a season so far, but then you factor in they are going to the half-mile high-speed bowl at Bristol. The most powerful cars iRacing has on one of the trickiest tracks there is. I have a feeling more than a few guys will get their cages rattled. Yeah, Pudsey, unfortunately, some of these recruitment races, if they're not battling in championships or whatnot, as soon as they have problems, they disappear. Once the new season starts in December, though, things are definitely going to get exciting. All right, here we go. Pace car is in. Kyle Holden in control of the restart. He is in the zone. He fires. They are away. Green back in the air. Looked like Gibson had a problem getting the power down on the restart. But he's already to the bumper and looks underneath. Couldn't get the run out of turn 2, but Richie underneath. Dan Tuma trying to make the move up top. Oh, Dan Tuma already shoots to the high side on Gibson. Pushes out a little bit. And now a drag race down the front straightaway as they battle for third. Richie goes way deep into turn 1. Richie clears into third as Austin Ruskoff back behind shoots up into fifth. Mark Nelson did get one of his laps back, still down 11 laps. And don't forget, you will see some of these drivers back for that SMR race, including Richie Jomplin, Mark Dantuman, of course, their leader, Austin Ruskoff. Man, I can only begin to imagine what 20 cars with over 800 horsepower on a half-mile high-banked short track is going to be like later tonight. Especially considering how little fuel they run and having to stop at least 2 to 3 times. Things might get a bit chaotic later tonight. Kyle Holden opening up a half-second lead over Gibson and Jomplin as they continue to battle for second. Dantuma coming back into the picture. And let's take a lap with Dantuma. You'll see multiple different grooves being used as they cross the start-finish line down into turn 1. Oh, Dantuma gets loose coming out of 2. Can he save it? Caution is out. Caution is back out for Mark Dantuma's spin. I think we are a couple laps too early on that one. Here we go. There's Dantuma. Snaps loose in the middle of 1 and 2. Hard onto the brakes. Keeps the car down low. Everybody gets by clean. But that is going to send Mark Dantuma from 3rd to 6th. Austin Ruskoff, Nicole Kriesel, Mark Dantuma, all back on pit road. Kevin, it's definitely a possibility that it is my fault Dantuma wrecked. Mark Nelson does get another wave around. That'll put him about 10 laps down. Nicole still working on that car, trying to get it back to 100%. Mark Nelson also back onto pit road. The defending champ having extreme problems here tonight. Looks like Steven Gibson is going to come in to top off on fuel. Austin Ruskoff also back in. It's unlikely we'll see them change tires. They only had 4 total sets of tires for tonight, so they've got to stretch them out and make them last. Yeah, Gibson hits his stall. It'll be fuel only. Austin took fuel only. They roll back off. Mark Dantuma, after that incident and his pit stop, now in third due to the cars behind hitting pit road an extra time. Does look like a lot of these drivers are expecting this to come down to a fuel battle at the end. Austin Roscoff is dropping back into top back off, as they will get the 1 to green this time. If it does come down to a fuel battle, Austin will definitely be in the best situation. Now, Austin does not have any damage, so that was a fuel only. He is definitely hoping this comes down to a fuel battle. He will be in the best position. Kyle Holden, it still has the lead. He will be in control of the restart. And here we go once again out of turn 4.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
Green flag back in the air. Kyle Holden quickly assumes the lead. Richie into second. Stephen Gibson in third. Dan Tuma now in fourth. Nicole up into the top 5. Austin Roscoff back in 6th. Mark Nelson dropped to the tail end. He is in 7th, but he is not on the lead lap. The defending champ currently 10 laps down after that early race incident. Stephen Gibson in third, losing a little bit of ground to Richie. He's now 0.8 of a second back. And it does appear he has lost the draft, with Mark Dantuma also closing back up on him. Kyle Holden and Richie Joplin, the top 2, within about a half second. Stephen Gibson now 1 1/4 seconds back in third. Mark Dantuma in fourth, staying within striking distance. Nicole still holds on to 5th. As Kyle Holden just set the fastest lap of the race, 35.2 seconds. Remember, Kyle has not come in under the last couple of cautions, holding on to track position rather than getting fresh tires. But as we mentioned earlier, on these flatter tracks, that clean air out front really makes a big difference. Mark Dantuma gaining a little bit of ground on Gibson, but Gibson pulls away. The gap between them staying about even over the course of a lap. Richie Joplin has lost ground to the leader. Kyle Holden now out front by 1 1/4 seconds. Richie Joplin in second, continues to pull away from Gibson in third. Dantuma now in fourth. Austin Ruskoff has gotten back past Nicole to take fifth. Nicole holds on to sixth. Mark Nelson currently holds seventh place, 10 laps down. He is the fastest car on track at the moment. However, he is 10 laps down, unlikely to make it back to the lead lap. I say it's unlikely. The way this race has gone in the early laps, over the course of this first half, anything is possible. Kyle Holden holding on to that 1 1/4 second lead at the moment. Stephen Gibson in third has now opened up a 1 second gap on Dantuma. And Austin Ruskoff is starting to close in just a little bit, a couple hundredths of a second a lap. Nicole appears to have lost some momentum. Looked like she had a small problem coming out of turn 2 last time. Now, we talked about shifting earlier on. Let's ride along with our leader, currently in 4th gear, now down to 3rd gear. That is a huge surprise. Back on the power, back to 4th gear. Will he hit 5th? Nope. He is sticking to 3rd and 4th gear. Not surprised to see the driver shifting around here. I am surprised they are not utilizing that 5th gear. See if Richie Joplin is doing the same thing, riding along with him. Whatever Richie is doing, it is working. He is less than a second behind the leader. Richie just using 3rd and 4th gear. But he is closing back up on Holden rapidly. Hey, good evening, Cody. Stephen Gibson back in 3rd has now opened up a 3-second gap on Dantuma. That is a huge surprise. And Austin Ruskoff has cut the gap down to 1.5 seconds. If he maintains this pace, he will catch Dantuma here in a lap or two. Mark Nelson continues to be one of the fastest cars on track, as he is working his way through the field, but 10 laps down. Unlikely to get up and pull off a win tonight. Kyle Holden's lead only about 0.7 of a second. Richie continues to chip away at it. And don't forget, folks, the next 3 weeks on Sunday nights, BRR Recruitment continues for the Cup Series, and on Saturday nights, recruitment for the Truck Series continues. Also, as we posted earlier in the week, and we'll post it again tomorrow, Tuesday night, the C12 Motorsports team is recruiting for their Street Stock Series Season 2. This new season is going to be exciting, just a few weeks away from the beginning. Cody, yes sir. Kyle Holden's lead continuing to shrink. Austin Roscoff has lost a lot of ground. He is now 4 seconds behind Dantuma. Last time we looked at him, he was less than a second behind Mark. The car is undamaged, but definitely is off the pace. Mark Dantuma has started closing the gap again on Stephen Gibson. Dantuma now less than 2 seconds behind. Richie Joplin may have used up his tires running down Holden. He has now dropped back to 1 second behind the leader. Remember, all the drivers will still need to make at minimum a fuel stop. Likely to see everybody in for 4 tires and fuel in the next 10 to 15 laps. Mark Nelson back in 7th, can't at the moment pick up any positions, being 10 laps down. But he continues to be one of the fastest cars on track, as he sits right behind 3rd place Stephen Gibson. Hey, good evening, Kevin. No, just a little bit of early anarchy. all the Spider-Men from Dazzler. That gap between the top two holding at about 1 second for the moment. Stephen Gibson in third. Oh. It was hard to tell. Sorry there, Dazzler. Don't worry, Kevin. We will have YouTube shorts out in a few days. Kyle Holden's lead still holding at about 1 second. Dan Tuma was closing in on Stephen Gibson, but is now about 2.7 seconds back. Austin Ruskoff had a problem just a moment ago. Coming through 1 and 2. Oh, same thing we saw earlier. Austin gets loose, gathers it up quickly though. Quickly recovers, but did lose quite a bit of momentum. Hey, good evening, Kyle. Should start seeing drivers in for that final stop very soon. Looking at the numbers, looks like Kyle Holden and Richie Joplin have been out the longest. They last pitted on lap 36. They will likely be the first two in, and we may be seeing it now. And here they come. Richie Joplin, Kyle Holden first and second on pit road. The rest of the field came in between lap 45 and 47. But they can't afford to stay out on old tires much longer than the leaders. Lap times seem to have fallen off about 0.7 of a second. Stephen Gibson's fastest lap of 35.29. Last time by 36.04. Yeah, Kyle, quite often. Richie Joplin, Kyle Holden come out. They do maintain the lead lap. Kyle now back in 5th. Richie into 6th. But the top 4 still have to complete their final stop. If you can catch me when I have time, Kyle, I'd be happy to. Cody, yeah, Black Ops 6 Zombies, extremely fun. Kyle Holden back in 5th, about to catch 4th place, Nicole Creasel. Nicole on older tires. Kyle gets by easily. Mark Dantuma now scored in second. Austin in third. They still have to come in for those final stops. Next time by, it'll be 25 laps to go here at Gateway. Mark Nelson is in. This will be his final stop. Will this strategy work out for the current top three? Can they get on and off pit road and potentially run down Kyle Holden and Richie Joplin? Kyle has opened up a 2-second gap now on Richie. Stephen Gibson, Mark Dantuma, Austin Ruskoff continue to stay out. Kyle Holden on fresh tires just set the fastest lap, 35.06. Stephen Gibson continues to lead, but Kyle Holden laying down the fastest laps on track at the moment. That top three is going to need to get fresh tires soon. Caution is out. Caution is out. 22 laps to go. Nicole involved. Nicole coming out of, oh, Stephen Gibson just pushed up out of turn 4. Nicole up on the high side. Gibson gets a big run out and just barely gets into her left rear quarter panel. Nicole goes for a spin. Both drivers tow to pit road. Dazzy, yes, indeed they are. Mark Dantuma, Austin Ruskoff, Kyle Holden, Nicole Kriesel, and Stephen Gibson on pit road. Richie Joplin stays out. If Kyle Holden has an extra set of tires right now, the rest of the field could be in trouble. And he did have a... All 4 drivers took 4 tires and fuel. Well, let's see if we can get a word with Richie about this strategy. Hey, Richie, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, you're out front, but everybody behind you is now on fresh Goodyears.
Yeah, I'll be sent to the back. I mean, I won't be able to stay up with the fresh tires. I should have stayed out a little bit longer, but who knows when the caution's going to happen, you know? I was just following the Kyle's line, and it was making me better watching his line. So I was kind of enjoying riding behind him.
Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting finish to this one. Are you going to try and keep them behind you for a while, or what's the plan here?
I want to do my best to hold them off, but I don't think I got the tires or I'm fast enough to really hold off some of the people back behind me, like Kyle Holden. He's pretty quick, and Mark came up there and rubbed my doors a little bit and had a little bit of fun racing with him, and I messed up and at the beginning and got Mark Nelson, and I apologize for that, and see what happens.
Well, good luck, buddy. It's been a great run so far.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah, now 9 drivers gone. Only 4 remain on the lead lap. Nicole Creasel is back out. Stephen Gibson out of the race. Mark Nelson still about 9 laps down at the moment. Richie Joplin will be in control of the restart. But everybody else on the lead lap has 4 fresh tires. Richie's tires about 10 laps older. It doesn't seem like much, but man, it does make a huge difference, especially on a flatter track like this one. Lights are out on the pace car. One more restart here and one more opportunity to get a little bit loud. So when the green flag drops, I'm going to shut up, let you guys crank it up, and listen to the horsepower that remains. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Crank it up, y'all. "17 laps to go here at Gateway," and Pudsey, yes indeed, the heat causes huge problems for traction, especially when they try and put the power down. Coming out of turn 4, we've seen so many drivers lose grip and slam that inside wall. Plus, as they run, the track temperature continues to go up. It is now 119 degrees. About 3 degrees hotter than when they started the race. Richie Joplin still maintains the lead. Dan Tuma in second, Holden in third, Austin in fourth. A mark on the fresh tires starting to look underneath Richie. He may have him. That outside line has more momentum out of the turn, but it didn't matter. Dan Tuma with fresh tires clears and takes the lead for the first time tonight. Kyle Holden has quickly moved back up into second. Richie dropping back to third. Austin still on his bumper in fourth. And Holden now looking for the lead. He got a big run out of two and easily gets past Mark into turn three. Kyle Holden back to the lead with 13 laps to go. Mark Dantuma in second. Richie still holds on to third. Oh, Dantuma loose out of two. Oh, Austin in the wall. Caution is out. And a perfect example of how that hot track helps these drivers to lose grip. Let's take a look. There's Austin right on Richie's back bumper on the power out of two, just snaps loose and goes nose first into the wall. There you see from above, just starts sliding around, tries to save it, but the car finds grip suddenly and shoots him out to the wall. Austin headed into pit road. He was involved in some earlier incidents. He did get a lot of manual repairs, but does he have his fast repair left? We'll know here in just a moment. It does look like he had his fast repair. He is rolling again. He will stay in the fight. Nicole Creasel still holds on to fifth. Mark Nelson in sixth. Don't forget, 9:30 Eastern, SMR Gen 4 is back. And tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, Jones BS Racing doubleheader is back. And we have a lot of nights off broadcasting for a couple of weeks. We will be entertaining you guys in the evening. There are going to be a couple of extra convoys this week, led by the beautiful Unicorn. And we will be starting Baldur's Gate 3 probably Tuesday evening. Austin did just say he is glad he saved his fast repair. I bet you are, man. Should be getting 1 to green this time by. They will have less than 10 laps to go when the green flag drops. And it does sound like Austin got very lucky on that. He did get a meatball flag, which means mandatory repairs. So saving that fast repair kept him in the race. Without it, he would likely be out. Four cars will battle for the win. Kyle Holden, Mark Dantuma, Richie Joplin, Austin Ruskoff. Nicole Kriesel in 5th, Mark Nelson in 6th. Neither driver on the lead lap able to fight for the win. Although I do have a feeling the next season of BRR will be the one that we see Nicole in victory lane. Pace car is in. Kyle Holden in control. Green flag. Back in the air. 8 laps to go. Holden quickly clears. Richie already peeking underneath Dantuma. Remember, Dantuma does have the fresher tires. Everybody's tires have cooled off. Richie might have a lap or two of speed in those after the cool off. But Dantuma quickly pulls back into second place. Richie right on his bumper. Austin back behind. Whoa! Holden got loose up front. Dantuma's got to run on the high side. Mark Dantuma to the lead. Richie looking for second. Austin still in the fight as well. The Mark Nelson lurking behind, not in the battle for the win. Mark pulling a bit of a gap, a couple of car lengths now on Holden. Holden starting to fight back. He's gotten the better run out of turn 2 all night. Down into turn 3, Holden getting closer. Fortunately, Mark is in his Chevy tonight. If he had been in a Ford, he'd be on pit road blown up. This is where Holden has been fastest out of turn 2. Can he get a run down the back straightaway? He doesn't get any closer that time. Richie, despite the old tires, is able to hold Austin off in 4th. Top 2 have opened up a small gap back to Richie. Holden taking a slightly higher line through 1 and 2 to try and build that momentum. Mark is definitely mirror driving now. Mark forces Kyle to the high side. Three laps to go at Gateway. Holden still right there with him. Mark Dantuma moving a little low out of the turn. Trying to make sure Holden can't get the run to the bottom. Kyle still trying to make it work up top. Hasn't been able to get there. 2 laps to go. This is going to be close. Mark goes higher through 1 and 2 this time. Trying to carry some momentum out of turn 2. He moves low, forcing Kyle to the high side. Richie Jomplin in third, now 0.6 of a second back out of the fight. And here we go. White flag is in the air. Holden looks low into 1. Mark gets a better run. Now Holden underneath. Out of 2, it's going to be a drag race. Almost touching doors into turn 3. Dantuma on the high side will have the momentum out of the turn, but who will it be? Down the front straightaway, they bang doors. It is Mark Dantuma by 1/1000th of a second. Kyle Holden comes home in a very close second. Richie Jomplin holds third. Let's talk to our top 3. Richie, you managed to hold on to third despite the old tires. That was a great save.
Yes, that was a great save. I'll take a third here at Gateway. I mean, come on now. This is a tough little track, and these cars are a little handful. So, I'll take it.
Oh, man, great job. A great run tonight. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, Doug.
Does not look like second place is available. So let's talk to our winner. Mark, it doesn't get any closer.
No, it does not. Yeah, hopefully that was a pretty good ending that everybody enjoyed, because that's about as close as I've ever seen.
I have to say, that is one of the closest finishes we've ever broadcast. I will have to go back and make a screenshot of it later tonight, but man, that was an awesome finish. And that last restart, you and Kyle just back and forth. He got a better run out of 2 usually, but you were holding him off up until that last lap.
Yeah, just it was kind of a miracle that I got in front there too. He made a mistake, which he just never does, and I was able to sneak by. But he had the better car. He was just being careful to make sure he didn't take me out trying to get by. So, but it was definitely down to the wire.
It definitely was a great finish, a great win. A lot of congratulations in the comments, man. Great run tonight. Congrats, buddy.
Thank you, Doug.
As I mentioned, we will get a screenshot from that finish, and we will put it on Facebook. Man, what a finish it was. Now, we will be back at 9:30 Eastern, hopefully. However, I don't know if you can hear it, but we have lightning striking right next to the house. So hopefully we'll be back at 9:30 Eastern. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Man, what a finish. Have a great night, y'all.